circle if you're a part of this ACC wrestling family, and we use the term family because that really is the sense you get when you talk to these coaches, the excitement level they have for the 39 allocations that have been handed out and the familiarity between all these wrestlers. Yes, a rivalry, but absolutely they're working together toward the common goal of raising the visibility of this sport. And here are two guys that have done just that, Ty, as we see one that we've been anticipating for some time. Third place at 174 on the line.
I kind of like the analogy of the family too, because that's not to say families get along all the time. There's plenty of drama within that. And Hayden Hidlay out to a nice high crotch with a quick double leg finish right here.
Yeah, if you've ever had siblings, say no more. We got siblings in this conference that have certainly made their mark, and you see the name Hidlay out there. Good time to talk about family. Finds himself out to a 2-1 advantage with Finesilver, also a name that you will notice on the Duke side of things. And here's another of those old school Becker Road, ACC type rivalries. Anytime these two schools get together in any sport, it's much like what we talk about with Virginia Tech, Virginia, North Carolina, NC State matches we'll see tonight. A lot on the line beyond just the positioning for the individuals here on a moment like this.
Hidlay keeping that offensive attacks going. This one looks to finish in a stalemate, but 2 offensive attacks within the first minute, 15 seconds of the match is pretty good rate. Even just one score to be down by against a guy like Hayden Hidlay, with as good as his head and hands defense, his hand fighting in general is a tall task to ask to come back from. So it'll be interesting to see how Mr. Finesilver answers back.
As another of the 2 seeds finds his way here. Seating's so tough in many ways this year. Something we haven't talked that much about, but everything going computer-generated, electronic, out of the hands of the coaches per se. Everybody seemed to handle that pretty well, Ty, to say, hey, this is what we agreed to. Maybe there were some head scratchers here and there in certain spots, but it is what it is, and you're going to have to handle the individuals in your classification one way or the other, so you just embrace the moment.
Yeah, and I think having it, Hidlay in another little high crotch, had his hands locked on that leg, wasn't able to secure it. But I do, in terms of the seeding, I do like having it automated, having it figure it out and wrestle against that criteria that thing has, and of course the controversy with Lau getting that first seed and setting up the Hidlay-Lewis semifinal. But even conversely, on the other side of that, you could say that there's only a handful of teams in the ACC. There's only 2 instances at 197 and 174 that there was a 3-way kind of tiebreaker to be talked about, and that probably could have been easily agreed upon by the coaches. But hey, I like it either way.
We get one more opportunity to talk a little bit of NC State here with Hidlay out there. You know what he's done for that program during his time on campus. You know what that program is trying to do, looking to make today a 4th consecutive, which would be a school record, ACC Wrestling Championship gold in 19, 20, and 21. Trying to go 4 straight after going back to back to back and capturing it last season at Reynolds, trying to do so on the road here in Charlottesville. The last time the tournament was held here in 2016, it was NC State, and they close things out and do it again. Tonight's session going to answer that question, and here's a good start for Hidlay this go-round. Trying to sweep. But that's the bigger picture in many ways, Ty. We could talk about the individuals like Hidlay, but this is a unit, this Wolfpack crew. Number 2 seeds over here trying to do some really solid work because their eyes on the prize in the big picture of claiming yet another ACC title.
Absolutely. And of course, just to bring back in that team element too. And these guys need to be, for a guy like Hayden Hidlay, getting not just a win here, but trying to look and see if he can open it up. And of course, a huge challenge against a highly ranked opponent in Matt Finesilver, but trying to open it up and see if he can't find a fall or find himself in a bonus point situation to continue that NC State lead.
If you remember the championship, Virginia stole away in 15, then talked about NC State winning it here in 16, the last time it was in Charlottesville. You had the 2 Virginia Tech titles sandwiched in between the 3 that NC State has put together in succession. And trying to add another. And Virginia Tech and NC State really going to entertain the fans down the stretch here today. And so will these individuals. You said Finesilver of Duke hanging right there with Hidlay right now at 2-2.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job on his feet. You see him when he steps in and fakes. He's just about grabbing Hidlay's leg. He's substantially the taller wrestler. Now he has a nice little front headlock. Like to see him maybe fall off to a little ankle pick. That's what I'd do if I had length like that. But he, I think, just needs to kind of pull the trigger and commit to getting the leg, because he's doing a good job. There's another fake where he's just about glancing the leg of Hidlay. Hidlay doing a good job of staying in good position, but they find someone with an underhook now, punching it, trying to go the other way. Hidlay with a nice re-attack, head outside shot to the left leg. Finesilver going crotch lift, trying to get his hips back on top. Hidlay elevating the leg now, looking to turn back in. This was stalemated earlier in the first period, and it looks like he may be running out of time to finish here in the second.
And it will be where it is, 2-2. Nothing like the championship environment, especially when you've got multiple mats going at once. You heard the ovation rise from the crowd a moment ago. Quinn Miller working his way into the NCAAs with the work on the far side, and you heard the Virginia faithful as they celebrated the heavyweight Quinn Miller making his way forward into Detroit. So, yeah, it's been a busy day of wrestling, and you can hear the ovations go up. They're keeping an eye on what's happening on both these mats, and they've got one to certainly zero in on now, with that one coming to a close, as Hidlay's slimmest of advantages on Finesilver will be tested right here.
Finesilver looked like he had 2 points there. Got to both the legs of Hidlay. Hidlay was able to roll through. Now Finesilver has a little crotch lift again, trying to hook that leg, get weight over top of the head of Hidlay. Now he's trying to get that ankle free. If you see him working that lock of Hidlay's on his own left leg there. And a stalemate called.
Just 1 minute to go.
I think we'll see some blood time here too, as the face of Finesilver is leaking from the eyebrow. And as what you're saying, from the fan perspective, when you're here, or if you're at home and you have ESPN up on 2 monitors and you get to watch both mats at the same time, it kind of stinks doing the commentating, because you hear people cheering and going crazy over on one mat, but you're talking about something that's going on the other mat, and you kind of you have to miss out and then just follow along what happened afterwards. So you just get that FOMO the entire time. Like, I heard the cheering, I didn't get to see what happened.
Take a look at Finesilver, and here is the bird's eye view of exactly what you get if you work your way to John Paul Jones Arena on a day like this for the ACC Championships. I mean, it's got to be tough to know what to focus on from time to time if you're sitting in those seats right now. Luxury to see so many, as we said, highly regarded wrestlers now that the ACC finds itself one of the emerging conferences, with those 39 qualifiers being handed out throughout the day.
Yeah, it's reminiscent kind of to the NCAA tournament, where people start to find their favorite underdogs and they cheer against them, or you have the Hawkeye faithful cheering against the Penn State wrestlers, or the Michigan wrestlers cheering against the Ohio State wrestlers. But even here in this Duke versus NC State matchup with Finesilver and Hidlay, you hear a lot of Virginia Tech fans cheering as Finesilver's working to try and get 2 points against them, and it just kind of makes it confusing.
Well, if you think that what you are seeing on the consolation side has been intense, just wait until 7 o'clock arrives. ACC Championships on the network, and things will be cranked up at 7 p.m. And so many of these matchups, we've talked about them. You know, we've talked about Scott, O'Connor. We've worked our way on through some of the things you're going to see along the way. Camacho, Latona, some of the seats that have held. Any matchups in particular, Ty, that you're pretty pumped about once the 7 o'clock hour comes?
There's a whole bunch of them. I'm
Give
really
you every one of them, right?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Camacho-Latona matchup, of course, especially after their intense, heated meeting in the previous match over at NC State. I really like the Filippi. All right, I'm not just going to go through every single weight class.
You want to just go ahead and give everyone a preview of what's happening over at 7 o'clock all the way through? All joking aside, every one of those critical matches, and certainly in terms of the team pursuit that we've talked about, the Wolfpack, the Hokies, so much on the line there. But, man, it really is going to be a lot of fun at 7. Take a look at this. Still separated by just a single point.
Oh, my God, this exchange of events here on mat 1. Finesilver find himself at 2 points, and Hidlay immediately turned it into not just a reversal, but back points.
Well, and Finesilver in a tough spot there, somehow now able to get to the feet. And Hidlay that quickly taking a +3 advantage at 7-4. Now one of the more fast-paced of the sequences we've seen all day long. And it has given Hidlay control for the moment. The 2 seed now on the verge.
Now Finesilver with another reversal. Too short on time, though. As he's going to desperately try to find a turn.
And reversal bringing it to 7-6, but Hidlay too much. And he's going to grab 3rd position in this classification. And here's the moment that it really transpired. This is one of the great sequences of the day.
Yeah, I'll take another 2 minutes of that, please. Finesilver got in on a nice single leg. Little trick knee, wizard position for Hidlay. But Finesilver finds the 2, trying to immediately turn into his ride. But Hidlay continues to wrestle and continues to roll through. Then he gets Finesilver on his back, nearly finds the pin, and then Finesilver obviously gets his hips back up.